Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Um, and today's lesson, as I titled it, prepare yourself for the takeover. And I'm gonna go through a few precepts through the Spirit. I haven't lined anything up per se, but I'm gonna go off of whatever the Spirit feeds me. Okay, and Lord willing, to be an edifying lesson. And I was talking with my brother earlier this morning about, we were discussing about the last street speaking, how pretty much it was like because in our camp, you have the elder brothers who are who teach in Jersey, and we teach over here in New York. And every now and then, we come together. We have a larger camp and we teach together. So last Saturday was one of those, and it was the Spirit, because when we started, we saw a chariot. We saw one chariot that was like somewhat stationary, and then afterwards, when all of us were there, that's when we saw the whole fleet. And it's a Spirit, because we were talking about the return of Yahushai. We were talking about how we went into Wisdom of Solomon, I believe the 18th chapter or so, talking about how Yahushai leaped, as the death angel in the ancient Egypt, and how he got to work quickly, and how when he comes back, pursuant to the book of Isaiah, when he comes back, he's gonna come back so fast to bring vengeance upon this place. Now, as we were talking about the chariots and deliverance, that's when the Spirit hit me, and then I looked up, and I saw those chariots, and I pointed to. I was like, oh shoot, there's a fleet, and we were all looking at it, okay, but it's spiritual, because we understand what the meaning of that is. We understand what the chariots are. We understand what their purpose is. But each day that draws nearer and nearer, and each day that passes, we're getting closer and closer to the return of Yahushai, to where Yahushai himself is actually going to come down, and he's going to crack those skies, and you're going to see, like, because see, what Ezra saw was a vision, right? So what Ezra saw was the future. So what we're going to see is the visions and the future that the prophets of old saw from the past. We're going to actually see that in the fullness of it in this time. So when the time comes, we will see that giant chariot of Yahushai, and we will see people getting beamed up and getting delivered. And it might be your first time seeing a laser beam coming out of a chariot. As the Esau's labels in this modern term, we call it laser beams. And then you have the tractor beams that beam people up. Well, we're actually gonna see that. And we need to prepare ourselves for that. But we're actually you're gonna be outside wherever you at, on the street, and you're gonna see people, human beings that are of the elect, actually getting taken up into the air, into so-called UFOs. Yeah, that's real. Now, as crazy as it may sound, guess what? That's the reality of things, And then just as you have one light that takes people up, you're going to have another light. Since I'm speaking on it, let's go real quick to the book of Revelation. But you're going to have another light that's coming down hot, hot, heated elements, and is burning people. It's burning people, it's burning buildings, it's burning cars. And in the midst of that, you feeling the earth shaking because of the way these missiles are hitting and causing, basically like earthquakes. So the return of Yahushua is going to be a day unlike any other. And that's why the scriptures are always talk about what? The day of the Lord, the day of the Lord, the day of the Lord. All right. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 12. Actually, I'm going to start at verse 11. It says, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. And we're in that time period now. And the reason we're able to, for example, the reason I'm out here doing a video right now is because we have the spirit of life. The Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai has woken us up. And we're in that time, and we're standing up upon our feet, an exceeding great army. And that's frightening to these elites. That's why they're having their meetings, their COP26s, and, you know, all of that. And they're discussing how they don't have time. Because what is their hourglass, right? What is their hourglass to measure how much time they have or not? Well, ultimately, it's how much we're waking up. And they see that the more and more we wake up, the more Israelites wake up to the truth, the more destruction starts going on throughout the planet Earth. And so that is frightening them. And so them seeing us stand upon our feet. And you know what? The problem here that they fear, see, Esau, you have average regular Edomites. And these average regular Edomites, they fear typical Jake, hood Jake. You know, they fear Jake because of the negative stigma, all right, due to the curses that's upon us, right? They clench their purses and so on and so forth. But these elites, they don't fear that. Those aren't the Israelites or the Jakes that they're afraid of. What they fear, because they know how to easily control those Jakes. You know, drugs, get them in jail. You know, the bait that they throw out, they know it'll get those Israelites quick. The problem is the Israelites that aren't falling for those tricks. That's the problem. You know, that's the problem. That's like if you have roaches or something, and you know, every time the roach comes, you got your raid and you spray it and the roach runs away or it dies. Man, you can have 10 roaches. You ain't gonna have it because, you know, next I'm just grab my raid and that's it. You out of here, you know? But what happens when you spray there's these particular roaches that come around and you spray them and they just standing there looking at you. You know what I mean? They on all 6 legs or however many legs they got, they little legs and shit, and they just there with the antennas, and then you spray them, and then they just stand up on two feet, and they looking at you, and they start walking up to you and shit. And you're like, what the hell's going? What the fuck? You know, you spray some more, you know, you get more cans, you spraying the shit, and the roaches just coming up. Then there's another one. Then there's another. Next thing you know, you got a whole bunch of roaches just pulling up on your ass. They're not going on all fours no more. They standing on 2 feet, and they coming up to your ass. You're gonna be shook up because your means of defense is not working. So when they got, that's why we are such a threat to them, because we're like the walking roach. That sounds crazy, but you know, for analogy's sake, we're like the walking roach. The raid is not working. The raid is the things they put in these communities to keep Jake ensnared. But now they're realizing, hold on, whoa, that's not working. They're not being, hold on. I mean, they're stopping the drug dealing, the wickedness, you know, and there's something that they're all standing up for. That's a problem. Because how do we keep them down all these years? By division. By throwing in all these things that will destroy them. And how did it end up destroying them? Because they kept falling for the bait. But now they're not falling for the bait. You know? You throw a rat trap over here, the rat says, psych, nigga, you ain't get me. Then he sidesteps it. The cheese is gone, but the trap ain't hit. Now so they're like, yo, hold on, whoa. Now we gotta really step it up. You know? So you get the slippers, you trying to smash the roach, but you can't hit it. So that's the problem. That's why these devils ultimately, the kind of Israelites they fear are not these hood, thug, ghetto, quote unquote Israelites. No. They fear those that are standing upon their feet, that aren't falling for the little tricks, right, that they're throwing out here. Those are the dangerous Israelites, because what can possibly captivate an Israelite's mind so much that they don't fall for the things that any Israelite will fall for? And then that's the truth. And see, it's one thing if it was Islam. They don't mind, because Islam, they know that they have control over it. They manufactured all of that. So they know that, you know what, even if they stop these wicked acts in their mind because of this belief they have in the Quran or whatever, That's cool because we control that. But now the thing that is captivating them and their minds is something that we don't control. It's the book, is the Bible. The one thing of all things in existence that we wanted to hide from them, the one thing that we didn't want them to get, guess what? That is the thing that is making them resist us. That's why that fear is falling upon them, because their worst nightmare is being fulfilled right before their eyes. So they're scrambling. You know, they come out to the outward, yep, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and we're going to do this. But when they go back there, man, they're scrambling. You know, they're scrambling. Yo, what's up with these? Yo, call the demons. You know, call the. Oh, matter of fact, let's go to that real quick. Let's hold that on deck real quick. They're scrambling because of the fact that nothing is working. The only thing that's working is prophecy. You know, and that's why they're pushing up. Look, man, even people in the world will tell you that these devils are pushing up their plans. You know, they ain't playing games. Now, let me finish here in Revelation 11, and then we'll go here to the book of Isaiah. That is the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse, finishing off at verse 12. It says, and they heard a great voice from heaven, saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. And that's going to be that chariot that Yahushua is going to beam up his elect in. Now, you know, it says come up hither, right? Now you have certain people who, you know, you tell them a couple of things and they don't want to hear it. But when the time comes, when these prophecies are being fulfilled, they're gonna hear to come up here. They're gonna try to look up too. Like, oh shit, well, I like to go up too because I don't want to be here when the missiles come. Now, you a wicked ass Israelite. All you've done your whole existence is just wickedness. Bare wickedness. No filter, no chill, just complete straight wickedness. And when the chariots come, you gonna stand up there with your hands open, like, oh Lord, accept me. You know what's gonna happen? You're gonna look up and it's not gonna be a blue light, all right? Which, you know, just saying that for example, say it's gonna be a red hot light. You know, you're gonna look up and you're gonna see something hot coming down. And next thing you know, you're done. All right. So now, like I was mentioning earlier, let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 19, verse 11. And also, I'm going to hold on deck, Jeremiah. Because, hey, like I said, man, these devils, they're scrambling. Don't be fooled, man. They are scrambling. And that's why their next few things that they're going to start doing are going to be, you have to understand that when you have a plan and you are trying to execute that plan, the plan that these devils have is to achieve a drastic, major agenda, right? Or a major goal. And at the end of the goal, the world needs to go from 0 to 100. Drastic change. So they set up a plan through gradualism to get to that 100. So they either went 10 by 10s or 20 by 20s or 5 by 5s to get to that 100, because they know they can't just jump from 0 to 100. Their plan is not going to work because it's too crazy. So what these devils are doing is they're moving, they're inching, right? But when you get to maybe 90%, the last 10% is going to be the difference between where the world is at when you're 90% of complete with your plan to getting it to that 100%. Regardless of how slow you move, the last 10% is still going to have to be something drastic. Because your plan, for example, you want to rob a bank. I'm going to put in a basic example. You want to rob a bank. Okay, you need you get a gun, you get a mask or whatever you do. You get a car, you get a getaway car, you plan it out. You got to drive to the bank. That's cool, right? You get in the car, that's easy. You drive to the bank, that's easy. You look around, cool. You enter the bank, that's easy. But the closer you get to your goal, the more drastic you have to be. Because now when you're in the bank, the last 10%, which is getting you from broke to stealing the money, is you got to pull out the gun and then you got to either shoot or you got to hold it to the clerk or whatever's head and threaten them and tell them, give me all the money. That's the drastic part. And it doesn't matter if you move by 10s or 5s. when you get to that last 10%, you have to take that drastic step. So these elites are at that last 10%, and they have to take that drastic step to get from 90 to 100. So it doesn't matter what way they slice the cake. They're gonna have to do something big and major if they want to turn this world from the way it is now to their new world order. That's why we're telling you that, and that's why the scriptures say that it's only evil that's coming. That's gonna be the theme of the planet, evil. Okay, and that's why they're scrambling right now, because they're like, yo, hold on, oh shit. Before we even got into the bank, people already looking at us. Security guards is already walking up, it's too. That's like what's going on with them right now. Because before they even hit a certain point in their plan, they're like, wait, we didn't anticipate this many people waking up. We didn't anticipate this much resistance. Because you know what? At the end of the day, no matter how many demons they work with or how smart they are or how many simulations they run, they're still man and not God. So they can't control the future. They can try to predict it and move accordingly, but things don't always go as planned because it goes by the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You see? So let's go to the book of Isaiah chapter 19, and I'm gonna start at 3 and jump down. This says, Isaiah 19 and 3, the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. Why? Because these elites, as Paul mentioned in Ephesians 6, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and wickedness in high places. So these elites, yeah, they're men, they're humans, but they deal with demons. They deal with, they tap into spiritual things on the left-hand side. These idols and all these wicked priests and so on and so forth. And Apostle Gabar made this point. He mentioned that they have priests on the spiritual level, but they also have wicked priests on the left-hand side dealing with the technology. Okay, so a lot of their super scientists are also priests for Esau on the left-hand side. Because for you to come up with a technology that can mess up with somebody's spirit or their God gene or all these different things, that's them dealing on the left-hand side. So you have certain wicked priests for Esau that deal with technology. Super smart, they understand how to put this and this chip and this here and that and do this. And then you also got the wicked priests on the left-hand side that are actually throwing enchantments and seances and conjuring demons and being mediums. Right? A medium, so the demons speak through them. They have those. They have familiar spirits. These things are real. But the Lord said what? The spirit is going to fail. So what are they going to do? They're going to seek. They're going to go there. They're going to seek them. Yo, what's going on? What do we, and they're going to find out that, the best plan, something that maybe a couple of years ago would have been like plan C, they're forced to make that plan A. Now they have to improvise. Because now they're starting to see like, if we don't do some shit now, we're never going to get a chance to do anything at all. Because time waits for no man. So now let's jump to Isaiah 19 and 11. And it says, surely the princes of Zoan are fools. Now, it's talking about Egypt, but it's talking about the spiritual Egypt, which is modern day Babylon or America. And these names, Zoan and so on and so forth, these were cities in ancient Egypt. But it's applying, it's just, in a poetic way talking about America. Yeah, that's why they got the Pope, yeah. And then they got the Black Pope. So there's always a circle within a circle somewhere. A triangle within another triangle somewhere. Now it says here, surely the princes of Zoan are fools. The counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh is become brutish. How say ye unto Pharaoh, I am the son of the wise and the son of the ancient kings? Because they're losing it. They're wise men, they're soothsayers. Pretty much they're like in a Nebuchadnezzar situation where he had that dream, but nobody could explain it but Daniel. But the problem is they don't got a Daniel. All right. Their Daniels are failing. Okay. And that's why they're scrambling. They're like, look, the deception is really witchcraft. Because in order to fully succeed at their deception, they had to use witchcraft. gross darkness the people. They have to blind the people through sorceries. But now that's not working. So they're like, look, in order for our deception to work, we need to have the people under a certain condition. But that's not working anymore. Because what? The truth is out here breaking those spells. The covering cast over the people is being broken. So now, what is their backup? The sword. Because with the sword, it doesn't matter whether you believe us or not. The sword is the sword. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter whether you agree or not. You're going to do what we tell you because we're going to bring the sword. So that's why when they come with that wrath to bring that 10%, remember the dude robbing the bank, the example, when he gets to the bank, what does he ultimately have to do? He's not going to come and try to deceive the clerk. Oh, really, if you give me whatever you got in the register, I'm going to flip that and give you like half of that. That's deception is not going to work in that situation. What does he have to do? He's ultimately left with the only option, which is to pull out his gun and start, using that sword. So that's what Esau's going to do now. He has to pull out the sword out the sheath because it's been being sharpened. And they knew that a part of their plan, they were going to have to bring conquest. They knew. See, ideally, it would have gone smoothly if they could just go through consent. If they could just deceive the whole world all the way up until the end, that would have been an ideal goal for them. But these devils are not stupid. They knew that chances of that happening is super slim, especially now that the prophets are out. So let's also plan for when the deception fails, how do we bring in the sword? And now they're like, look, forget the little details and look, man, turn the shit up, man. Turn it up. And that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to turn it up. You wonder, hold on, just a couple months ago, they started talking about, they've been talking about it for a while, but they started really harping on these central bank digital currencies. And already, nations are already using that. Some are in the prototype stage. Some are already out, printing, bringing it out and testing it and utilizing it. And you asking yourself, wait, why are they moving so fast? Like a couple months ago, they were like, oh, we're going to, see how it goes, see, what we can get from it. But now you got the Naira or something like that. I think in Nigeria, they're using it. I think in Ghana, they also, coming up with digital currencies. In Europe, these European countries, China, Russia, everybody's hopping on digital currencies like that, And it feels like just yesterday they started talking about it because they're like, look, we need to move quick. Because what is one thing that these prophets are always harping on, starting with the elders on down, that prophecy. And right now, the main thing coming up is that charagma. They know that they want to institute it. The problem is we're blowing their spot. And the more they let us blow their spot, the less people they are to get it through deception. So what are they going to say? We're going to give it to you by force. This whole thing, right? This juice, they're basically forcing people. They stop with the deception because the deception was, oh, it'll protect you. Oh, it'll give you this. Oh, it'll do this for you. But people weren't falling for that. People were like, no, I'm good. I don't want it. So now what are they doing? They're forcing people. They're forcing people. And when the famines start hitting and they're going pretty much try to do what happened in ancient Egypt when Joseph, they stored the food. This time they're going to say, no, we're going to forcefully take it away. And then let's see somebody talk shit. Then let's see if you guys are still going to be protesting and rioting. So continuing back in Isaiah 19, verse 12, it says, where are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know what the Lord of hosts hath proposed upon Egypt. See? So these devils, and in every corner, everywhere they turn, who do they see? They see us. We out there every week, we're flooding them digitally and in person. Everywhere they go, we're here. And look, man, even if you don't believe what we're saying, the fact that everywhere you turn, there's somebody saying what we're saying, it's just everywhere. You're just hearing it. It's actually having an effect. Okay? So they're watching their kingdom crumble. And that is what? That is the setting in which Yahweh Shai is going to return. right? I've come to set a fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? See, so the destruction is already going to be taking place, and Yahushua is going to come to finish it off. So we're living in some supernatural times, and right now we're at that point where the veil between the natural and the supernatural is so thin that you can already start feeling the merging, because the supernatural, the spiritual, has always been there. However, through carnality, and for a while the Lord sort of pulled back, but now He's bringing it so close together you can't deny it. Yeah, look at that. They creating a whole metaverse so they can escape the exactly. But they're not going to be able to escape that, you know? So you got to ask yourself, wait, hold on. Why are you actually doing all of this? Why? What do you get? What do you get? Oh, look at that. Federal Reserve Board member Randall Quarles resigns. I wonder why. Why are you interested in creating a metaverse? What for what? You had all those years and now you want to create a metaverse? And then they say some shit here, then they say some shit there, and it's not adding up. We want to create a metaverse where out of nowhere, Facebook, we're changing our name to Meta. And then we're going to create a metaverse, and, you can come in here and you can do this and you can do that. And we sitting there looking at you like, okay, well, since when? For what? For what? Because they're doing all these things because their enchantments are not working. All right? There is no enchantment against Jacob, and the prophets are out here, and this is a big problem for Esau, man. I'm telling you, this is a big problem for Esau, because you know what? Prophecy doesn't go in reverse. That's the title right there. Prophecy doesn't go in reverse. All right? Prophecy just keeps going forward. Yeah, gun. That shit is so weird. It's like they're trying to mess with something they don't understand. They're definitely trying to mess with something they don't understand. But hey, like I said, man, prophecy is going forward, and we are riding the wave of prophecy. You see, because prophecy is coming like a tsunami, but we not on the shore. We riding the wave. You know what I'm saying? We riding the wave, and that thing is about to clash onto the sand, man. It's about to clash onto the cities. So we're not coming against prophecy. No, we going with prophecy. We going with the momentum, and we like where it's going. No, look, we're not stressed. We're not stressed at all, because you know what? This ain't our kingdom that's being destroyed. This is your kingdom, and we are chanting down Babylon. So the more your kingdom goes down, the happier we are. We like, hell yeah. Hey, look, if you want to bring mandates, because guess what? That's only going to lead to further fulfillment of prophecy. All right. So whatever the hell you try to do to us, it's like a what they call that, a Pyrrhic victory, where you're winning, but you're really losing, because the more you fight, the more you're losing, it's hurting you more, but you're winning. And that's what's happening. They're fighting us, but they're gaining a Pyrrhic victory. They're losing because what is one thing that these devils don't have? Time. They don't have time. They're coming with this. They're coming with that. Hey, how do you like that? Hey, we're going to take away your jobs. But guess what? You take away our jobs, more people are waking up. How you like that? We're going to force your kids, and they're going to have to, they're going to have to take the juice. Guess what? The time you're taking, we set a date for January 4th. By January 4th, more prophecies will be, you know what I'm saying? So the more you try to do things to affect us, the less time you have, and the more it really comes against you. And that's a beautiful thing. We're getting ready to see Yahushua come down. We're getting ready to get new bodies. Can you imagine what that's like? The day that Yahushua and you actually see the chariot, and you actually see people getting beamed up, and you start getting beamed up. I mean, that's literally all we desire. There's nothing, if you're firm and solid in this truth, and somebody asks you, yo, what's one thing like you really, really want? There's only one answer you're gonna have. It ain't gonna be, I want a 2021 Benz or Mercedes. Screw that shit. That's good. You're not gonna be saying that. The one thing is what? Salvation is the kingdom. Everybody's gonna give you that answer, if you're in the right spirit. Because that's the one. Oh, why do you think we do the things? Why do you think I'm in here doing a video right now? Why do you think we go out there in the cold? Why do you think we do what we do? Because there's one thing that we all want, from the elders on down to the youngest brother to sisters to there's one thing that we all here for, and that's salvation. So when the time comes when we actually see salvation, how do you think we're gonna feel? That's like the ultimate goal that we finally hit. Lord willing, we be of the elect. That one thing that we've wanted our whole existence. And I'm not talking about just this generation. Because guess what? If we're of the elect and in the past, we still felt the same way. So the one thing that we've wanted in our existence, I mean in our whole existence, from generation to generation to generation, we finally get there and boom, it's right there in front of us. How do you think you're gonna feel? That it's gonna be a heavy, it's gonna be a very, very, very heavy spiritual day, man. Look at that. Federal Reserve governor to step down in December. So we're gonna see how that goes. Now I'm gonna jump here to Jeremiah, because the real scripture I wanted to get is in Revelation. So I'm gonna hit this real quick and then we could jump there. This is the book of Jeremiah 44. And ultimately, that's why we do these lessons. We do the point of feeding the Lord's sheep. It's also important what you're feeding the Lord's sheep. We're building up, and exhorting so that we can grow in the faith. We can continue in the faith. Because every time you hear a brother does a video or something like that, it gives you more reasons as to why you're in this truth and you have to keep on fighting. Because we got to keep each other going. Nobody else is going, people in the world are trying to pull you back. And even some Israelite groups out there trying to pull you back. They're not trying to push you forward, but we're here. And the reason the Lord harped on us feeding his sheep is because there's going to be so many other things out here trying to starve the sheep out. And what do you do when you feed somebody? You keep them alive, right? Because if they don't eat, they're going to die. And the Lord says pretty much, keep my sheep alive until I come. So that's what we're doing. When we push out these videos, we're keeping the Lord's sheep alive by feeding them until the Lord returns. And that's why he said what? The words that I speak unto you, their spirit and their life. See? So we're giving you the bread of life as well as eating the bread of life. Because guess what? I may be doing a video now, but later on, I'm going to be watching a video because I'm going to need to eat. So we keep it going so that when Yahushua comes, he can find all the sheep that he put in our care alive and well. And he can reward us, Lord willing. So Jeremiah 44 and damn, I always mix this up. Is it? Oh man. Let's see, Jeremiah 44 and let's see. Oh, not 44. Hold on a second. Not 44. It might be, I think 49. Let's check 49. 49. 20. Well, I'm forget. I'm mixing it up right now. But in essence, the precept says, is wisdom no more in teeming? Something pretty much along those lines. We got the word in us anyway. So, but pretty much along those lines, that's what the precept that I'm looking for says. And that's exactly what's going on. Because hold on, these devils, they figured out this, they put this here, they put this together, and what they failed to realize was the reason you were so successful is because the Lord had a spirit allowing you to do that, because at that time, that's what you had to do. But the pride of thine heart had deceived thee. The water, brother, that's the one, verse 7. Yep. I'm going to read that in a minute. But, pretty much their pride have deceived them because they didn't realize that the only reason they were succeeding was because of prophecy. They actually got so high. What did the Lord say through the mouth of Paul, that for this same purpose have I raised up Pharaoh, that my glory might be shown in destroying him? So then this damn proud ass devil done thought that it was him, not knowing that just because the Lord put him on the wave of prophecy to ride for a little bit, he thought, nah, I'm the one controlling this shit. But he didn't realize prophecy. Look, if you on a wave, you riding the wave, but where the wave goes is where you go. You don't control the wave. You know? So they out here, they thinking that it's really of them. Little did they know that it's the Most High. Because the Most High what? Setteth up kings, and he brings them down. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, verse 7. Concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Because guess what? Right now, the position that they're in, their wisdom in how to move and how to do these things, it's failing them. Okay, it's failing them. And that's why they're becoming desperate. Because when plan A doesn't work, you got to jump to plan B. But what happens when all the plans start failing and there's no more? There's no plan C. Now you got to improvise. You know? And when you improvise, you don't know how it's going to go. All right, y'all, rock a thumb to all you tuning in. So now let's go real quick to the book of Revelation, chapter 19. And I'm going to wrap it up here. Well, matter of fact, I'll read this first. It's Revelation 22 and 7. It says, behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book. That's why I titled it that we got to prepare for his return. And how do we prepare? By keeping the sayings of the prophecy of this book. Because the Lord is coming quicker than we expect. All right? He's coming quicker than we expect, man. And you want to make sure that you are ready at all times. You want to make sure that you're so focused and solid in this truth that when the Lord comes, that's exactly what he's going to see you doing. He's going to see you just steadfast. Boom. Like you just, until the Lord stops you, you got to be like that death angel, you know, who the Lord sent upon Israel. And the Lord had to basically like, oh, hey, chill out. You're going to kill them all. That's how you got to be. You got to be like that in this truth. So focused that until the Lord stops you, you can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. See now that's somebody the Lord knows. Whatever I throw his way, he's like a juggernaut. You know, and whatever wall comes in there, he's just breaking through that. You know, he's just out. You don't want to get in his way. You know? So now let's go to the book of Revelation chapter 19. And I'm going to start at verse 11. It says here, and I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse, and which represents pure power, which is really going to be the return of Yahushua. All right. It says, and he that sat upon him was called faithful and true, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. And that's Yahushua. Verse 12, his eyes were as a flame of fire. Where else have we heard that before? Revelation 1 and 7 on down. It says, and on his head were many crowns. Why? Because when he comes back, he's going to, the reason he's called King of Kings and Lord of Lords, right? Malak shal Malakim, Wa Adawan shal Adawanyam, is because when he comes, he's gonna basically get the rulership of all these different nations. You know, there ain't gonna be nobody else trying to rule. He's gonna be the ruler. Okay, so that's where the many crowns come in. It's not gonna be literal. You have only one head. How you gonna fit? What? You gonna stack crowns on the top? It's not literal. All right. It says, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of God, not Christ. All right? Jesus, that's not his name. Man, you know what? You try that shit. Try, because when we even hear that, we like it's like irksome. Like, we're in 2021 and you still calling on Jesus Christ? What the hell is that? Now, you wait till the Lord comes back, and because remember, he's coming back angry, right? He says he's gonna roar like a travailing woman. Go to the rooms where the women give birth, and you go stand there, and the woman is going through her pains, and she's pushing, and then the head of the baby gotta come out, and you go stand there and see if she's screaming out of joy. Oh, I'm having such a good time. Go listen to her scream and see if she's screaming out of joy. You know? So when the Lord comes back, he's going to scream out of, you know, it's going to be like a war cry. And it's going to be you're going to feel that. Right? So as it says here, where am I at? Oh, verse 14. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And those white horses represents the chariots, and those armies represent the angels. So real quick, let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 64, verse 17. Where am I at? Oh, 60. I think it might be 60. Slack, yeah. Hold on, am I tripping? If a brother could find that, Babakusha, it says 68. I think it might be 68. Hold on. It might be 68. It says the chariots, the Lord of hosts is among them, as in Sinai. The chariots of God are thousands, 20,000, I believe it said. I think it might be Psalm 68. Let's see. 68. There we go. 68 and 17. That's right. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 68, verse 17. It says, the chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place. The power of the water, the power of one chariot alone is I mean, the Earth's technology can't even match up to that. And you're gonna talk about thousands of chariots? That's overkill. And that's why in the book of Second Esdras, it says that they were afraid and yet durst fight, because the Lord has to put the spirit on them to fight, or else there's going to be no fight. You know? Then the entertainment, the show, it ain't going to be the same, because it's overkill. It's 144% overkill, man. Yahushua alone could, oh my Lord. And he's coming with Michael and Gabriel and Raphael. Oh, man. Like, damn, you know, Lord gonna need to revive these devils just to finish. Before he even touches them, they're gonna be done. You know, that's in 2 Esdras 13. He neither lifted up sword, but only as he saw, you know, it was like a blast, and when it hit the people, all he saw was dust and smell of smoke. What do you do against a power like that? You know, and we're gonna be here. Oh man, that, trust me, man, that day. It's going to be a heavy day, because, you know, when we were looking at the chariots on Saturday, that was like us looking up and looking at them, and they were far, and we were just looking. That's all. We were just looking, and we saw a fleet, and we got so excited. And then I started thinking, like, we're this excited over seeing chariots. How much more for when they're closer, Yahushua is in there, and we getting beamed up, and your body is getting changed, you know? Your mind is getting changed, spiritual power. If seeing a chariot alone can excite you that much, I mean, that's why the scriptures say that this mortal has to become immortal. We cannot inherit the kingdom as we are. It's going to be too much. We can't handle the glory of the kingdom as we are right now. We can't, you know, we can't. So, man, that day is gonna be it's gonna be a hell of a day, man. It's gonna be a hell of a day. So let's go back to Revelation 19, verse 15. It says, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he shall smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness of the wrath of the Almighty God. So you know, when Yahushua comes back, that day is gonna be a day of distress for a lot of people. It's going to be an epic stamp in history for all eternity. It will never be forgotten. All right. It says, and he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great God, that ye may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men. It says, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great, because the Lord did promise these fowls a treat, you know? And it also talks about that in Ezekiel, the 39th chapter. There we go. Verse 19. And I saw the beast, right? And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. Where else have we heard this before? Revelation 12 and 7. All right. Where else have we heard this before? 2nd Ezra 13. Okay. So this is going to be that ultimate war. You're going to have the beast, which is NATO and the EU, America included. All right. You're going to have, it says, the beast and the kings of the earth, because these other nations are going to stop. It says that in 2nd Ezra, that they're going to stop everyone, the world with one another, and they're going to come together to try and fight against the Lord. All right. It says, gather together to make war against him that sat on the horse, which is Yahushai, and against his army, which are the angels. Daniel 12 and 1. Khan, the water. Verse 20. And this is going to be the outcome. Right? And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet, all right, which ultimately, you know, starts with the Roman Catholic, because really all of these baby religions and stuff stem from them. The Vatican, the Roman Catholic Church, all right. So the beast, this power structure, their religious system, everything that got to do with Esau and his rulership is all going to be taken and is going to be done away with. And Yahushua is going to do this. Okay? So there's going to be war in heaven, and then the scriptures tell you what the outcome of the war is going to be. And it's victory for us. You know? Shalom. It says here, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that have received the mark of the beast, right? With which, so he used the false prophet, not only that, but he used the false prophet to deceive them to take that mark. Okay? So you're going to have people who the Lord is not going to keep, and they're going to take this thing because they're going to po'el. They're going to have been caused and made ready to take it. Thinking that it's okay. Oh, we just going to do this, and you did. No. You don't trust the devil, man. It says, it says here, these both were cast alive into the lake of fire, burning with brimstone. So there's going to be destroyed, destructured, broken down, never to be built up again. Verse 21, and the remnant were slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, which sword proceeded out of his mouth, and all the fowls were filled with their flesh. And this is going to be the return of Yahushai. All right, this is what's going to happen. We're going to witness this, because thus saith the Lord, and these words have been written in here, and what? They are faithful and they are true. So what are we to do? As Yahushai said, behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to reward every man according as his work shall be. So knowing that, what should we be investing our time in? What should we be working on? Well, what did the Lord tell us to do? To eat the whole roll and to go out there and teach. So eat the whole roll and go out there and teach. And as you see these prophecies coming to pass, get excited and teach some more. And then when you've taught some more, you teach some more. Hey, man, we're here. We're here. And Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is going to take care of us. Because we're taking care of his... Look, man, hold on 1 second. If you have a servant that is doing something for you, that you want them to do for you, and they're doing it, would you not provide for the servant whatever they need so that they can continue to do what it is that you want them to do? Right? Because if your servant gets sick, who's going to serve you? So what are you going to do? You're going to make sure your servant is good. You're going to make sure your servant is fed. You're going to make sure your servant is clothed. You're going to make sure your servant is protected so that they can continue to do what? To serve you. So that's why the Lord said, don't worry about food and clothes and raiment. Just focus on serving the Lord. And all those things shall be added onto you, because the Lord already knows. All right? He knows. So with that, I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, this was edifying unto the elect. Lucky I wasn't able to hit, the precepts on the common board, but I'm gonna try to start hitting some more, because brothers definitely be putting some good precepts on there. And hey, look, for you have seasoned brothers, but you have newer viewers. Take notes of those scriptures that are on the common board, because I may not bring them out, but brothers bring them out and they add on to the lesson. You know, so you can also learn from there as well. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash. Stay strong, stay in the spirit. Until next time, Shalom.